Yo, hello YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about a specific something that's been absolutely flooding my Reddit, my Twitter, my just everything, just everything. Like I see this everywhere. It's like I like looking at the Tom Holland meme where he sees Iron Man everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in my eyes. Anyways, what's up guys? So yeah, we're going to be talking about the devil dinosaur. The big red beast that is the devil dinosaur and why he's just kind of like this hot topic, right? He's just this gigantic balance discussion, just this one character. But yeah, anyways, I want to talk about kind of why high elo and competitive players kind of dislike the idea not of the dinosaur, but of a character like him rather than, you know, devil dinosaur. Because I feel like a lot of people are misconstruing the idea of competitive players kind of just like, yeah, you just don't know how to have fun. I mean, look, look at it like this. We just have a lot of different environments and perspectives. So in order to understand every perspective and kind of before we delve into that, we need to know what type of game we are playing, right? At least surface level, right? So we are playing Marvel Rivals. Hi guys, we're playing Marvel Rivals. Anyways, and what is Marvel Rivals? We are playing a live service free to play game. And typically live service free to play games attract all types of people in general, right? Just in a general sense. Obviously, there are some free to play games that are really niche, etc. They attract a certain type of audience, but like typically, at least for this one, let's talk about this one since we are in context of Marvel Rivals. Um, it attracts a lot of people. It attracts all types of people. We have people that like hero shooters. We have people that like Marvel comics. We have people that just find this game fun. We have people that want to play this game competitively because it is a hero shooter. We have people that play like there are just all types of reasons that people play this game, right? We have people that play this game to stand in Times Square. We have people that play this game that stand around and practice for Doom match, play it for the skins. Like there are all types of reasons people play this game, right? So now let's just say I'm a developer in a boardroom, right? I have to kind of think about all of these types of different people in a sense to keep them happy, right? I'm like, okay, today we're gonna release this skin because this skin is cool, and then the next day we're going to release this game mode because this game mode is cool, right? You know, because we want to keep the game fun, right? We want to keep the game engaging, right? But now the game at the end of the day is, you know, a team-based hero shooter, right? And hero shooters are typically competitive in nature, you know? Typically, like, you know, at least we have, what do we have? TF2, you know, Team Fortress, as well as Overwatch, as well as Paladins, right? You know, they're just competitive in nature. Anything can be, well, anything can really be competitive. Like, dude, rock, paper, scissors can be played competitively. Like, come on, dude. Anything can be competitive, right? But yeah, now we have like all of these overwhelming takes and discussions like surrounding Marvel Rivals all at once, right? Because this game is a free to play game, because we have all types of interests surrounding this game. That's why so many discussions, so many arguments, so many things happen at once. We just have so many interests. People don't want the same stuff. It is what it is, right? That's just the world. So, now, how does that bring us to the devil dinosaur? Um, it's kind of just an interest of, not interest, a discussion about short-term fun versus long-term health of the game, right? So the long-term health of the game is always a discussion. You know, that's kind of like the balance and stuff of the game, right? Like, is Daredevil healthy for the game, right? Is a character that basically has zero like downtime healthy for the game? That is also a dive character. That is also kind of a brawl character. That is a brawly dive character. Like it's just like you see all of these discussions all the time, right? All within YouTube Shorts or Reddit or just you know in Twitter or just whatever platform you look at, right? It's just always a discussion. So now it brings us to Devil Dinosaur, the newly released, you know, question about balancing and health and also just downright fun. Because is this character fun? I mean, that is subjective, but if you're a human being that is not sad, he's very fun. He's awesome. He's a dinosaur. So, yeah, that is my opinion about the character. He is downright fun. Will that fun end? I mean, the gimmick of this character, just, picking people up and throwing him to the backline. I mean, yeah, that'll probably get old, down the line or after a couple hours. Just depends how long your attention span is. Most people's attention span is cooked nowadays. So, I mean, it just really is subjective nowadays. Right? So, it's more so, is it healthy for the game more so than is it fun? Because I think everyone can agree that this character is fun. At the end of the day, he's a very super fun character. He's he's something that spiced up the tank roll. He shook up the tank roll. That is something the game needed. I'm not gonna lie, we needed something to shake up the tank roll. Like the introduction of like what was the last tank? I believe it was Deadpool. Did he shake up the tank roll? I mean, yeah, kind of. At least in higher elos, lower elos kind of enjoyed him too. It's like a new take on the tank roll, new take on the off tanks, right? Really, really good addition to the game, right? And I think the tank before that was Rogue. Definitely a more niche pick for the general population. At least with the Gambit team up, she's literally like best in slot. Assuming Gambit is open, right, for most scenarios. So yeah, like we definitely needed something to kind of shake up the tank roll. And nothing shook up the tank roll as much as Devil Dinosaur and like let's say like Prime Emma Frost. Like it even made like DPS mains try Emma or the tank roll. It made healer mains try the tank roll. Like at the end of the day, the devs are trying to make incentivize as many people as possible to play the tank roll, right? Whether it is being broken or being downright fun, they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to make people play this role because you can go on Reddit right now. I'm just solo tanking. I'm solo tanking every game. Look, the devs are trying something, all right? Even though it's like, Devil Dinosaur now or Emma before, like, hey, they're trying something, man. They something's got to appeal to somebody, right? So yeah. So now let me segue into why Devil Dinosaur is a hot topic among pro players, since that is, I guess, the objective of this video, to give you guys kind of as unbiased as possible, right? An unbiased pick on why competitive players may not like the idea of Devil Dinosaur. Well, not the idea of Devil Dinosaur, but more so the idea of a character like Devil Dinosaur. It just so happens that Devil Dinosaur is the hot topic of today, right? So, Devil Dinosaur is what someone could classify as a low skill ceiling hero. Like, anybody can play him, you know? Like, his gameplay loop is applying bleed, you chomp somebody, you take somebody to their backline, and more often than not, that person is either really, really low, or really, really dead, or in a really, really bad spot, so that way he can be really, really dead. So, essentially, he's a tank's tank. So, or well, I mean, he's a walking nuke. He's not a tank. He's something that just evolved above a tank. So yeah. So that's kind of like the main problem, right? Where he just does too much, right? There are indeed characters that do too much. Much how like, Daredevil can technically do too much. What's the problem with Daredevil? At least when he came out. Well, he did a lot of damage. Okay, they nerfed his damage. Now what's his problem? He gains too much overhealth. He has unlimited uptime because he doesn't even have a proper cooldown other than grappling hook, right? And deflect. Everything else is just based on fury. So technically, in a perfect world, he can have infinite uptime, right? Assuming he has enough openings, right? So he technically has infinite uptime. So yeah, like there are characters like that, right? And then now we have Devil Dinosaur, where he's a low skill ceiling hero that has just this insane matchup chart, right? Into like literally every tank in the game. Can win every tank 1v1, win every tank fight, right? And just demands a lot of resources from not only the team, but the enemy team as well. Due to the nature of his character, he has a crazy big hitbox. He is just insane, right? So I'm going to read this tweet for you guys, kind of like encapsulating why kind of pros hate the idea of this character, and I'm kind of gonna uh, elaborate on that. So, pros are not upset that Dino is strong. Oh yeah, by the way, this is Brady FPS, by the way. So credit to him. Pros are not upset that Dino is strong. It is okay for heroes to be strong. They are upset at the gameplay loop it promotes. The Dino is fun and accessible, but also makes all but like two tanks, Groot and Emma, virtually unplayable against him, and forces a very one-dimensional playstyle for everybody in the lobby. Rivals is no stranger to heroes that are so strong that are pick or ban. Like my example before with Daredevil, guys, kind of unquote. So back to quote. We've had Gambit since his release. We've had Elsa and Black Cat. We've all complained about those hero twos, and we still do, especially Gambit. Yes, I promise that we have played the poke heroes and just shot him in the head. But I think a lot of people fail to realize that you can pump resources into your team's dinosaur as well to make him basically unkillable in higher elos. The issue is that its core, the kit, is just a tank Wolverine that is virtually unkillable and makes the entire lobby play around it, otherwise you lose. Just like Gambit, who needs a nerf as well. Please don't tell me death threats. I think the Dino is a fun, wacky character. He just needs to be adjusted a little. So yeah, that's a pretty W take when you account for his perspective as well. So I just think this is kind of like a perspective thing a lot of the time because in lower elos or just like ranked in general, right? Let's just say I load into, I don't know, a plat lobby as Devil Dinosaur, and the enemy team goes Punisher Moon Knight. What do? Well, I'm expected to swap. At the end of the day, they're countering me. I can't play the game. You know, I'm trying to play around this poke. My DPS aren't doing anything about their DPS, therefore I have to swap. Right? Their DPS are too much of a problem for me to play the game, therefore it is unplayable for me. So now, is that a team failure? Is that my failure? I don't know. If you're talking about plat, it's probably, an individual failure, right? Because if I'm playing in a plat lobby, I'm more often than not, capable of just, solo carrying the lobby, right? But, in higher elos as well as a team environment, I don't have that luxury to kind of just like, you know, just counter swap a hero or counter swap an individual doing too much, right? Is that kind of like, you know, the quote unquote like right thing to do? Well, yes and no. In a team play as well as high elo environment, I don't not only have to worry about, let's say in this case, the Dino. I also have to worry about the 5 other people in the lobby and where their value is being put, right? And just the baseline idea that the Dino is in the lobby, I have to put, resources into him to keep him in check, right? Because at the end of the day, this game is a fight of resources, right? What cooldowns do I have to stop them? What cooldowns do they have to stop me? What cooldowns do I have to eliminate them? What cooldowns do they have to eliminate me, right? It's just a battle of resources at the end of the day. Every hero shooter is a battle of resources. That's why triple support is so strong. You just have more resources than the enemy team, right? So that means, you're probably going to win, right? More often than not, if you play it right. That's why a lot of, pro games, Ignite games are just triple sport. They're just giving themselves more resources, which with, you know, not really that much downside to it. Like, their characters like Ultron, their characters like Mantis, their characters like Adam, right? So the correct triple support. Whereas triple support in lower elo is just 3 main support. It's like, okay, bro, like really? You're not even. Anyways, let me digress. Anyways, right? So, like, players already at that level individually know how to counter characters. It's more so now that opens up someone else to, play the game essentially, right? And everyone at that level is in such a similar like skill bracket, skill cap that that just becomes a problem, right? Because let's say I go Punisher Moon Knight, or my team goes Punisher Moon Knight, right? Against their Devil Dinosaur because their Devil Dinosaur is a problem, right? I'm more often than not going to be brought to the idea that they're probably going to run, I don't know, Captain America and like or Captain America or Venom and like I don't know Spider-Man to kind of divert the damage away from their dinosaur, and now my dinosaur can walk freely, right? It's a lot more organized, right? It's again just a thing about perspective. Whereas if I just counter the dinosaur in like I don't know plat diamond whatever, then their team just can't play the game because their dino is the only one actually doing anything in their team, right? Like that's more often than not like the case for like a lot of games in like middle ranks as well as low elo where it's like only one person is really like a problem on the enemy team. The other people are just like doing like the bare minimum, doing their job, etc., etc. Or like just the situation is a lot more like variable in a sense because you have to account for like their skill level on the character. It might not be that crazy. It could be a lot going on, right? Because like at the end of the day, in middle elos, a lot of like the skill like discrepancy, the skill gap is insane. Insane. It's absolutely insane. It's insane. That's why there's so many like stomps. Like people will always like blame EOMM for like stomps or whatever, which I mean that's a whole nother video, whole nother topic. But I just believe that the skill gap is so large because of like the rank system and all that. So now you have all of these factors, and now you introduce a character that again low skill ceiling, so anybody can kind of play it to a degree, right, and be kind of like Thanos on it, as long as they know like the basic gameplay loop. So now they inherently are a problem, and if you individually counter them, let's say in a top 500 lobby, now other people can counter you, right? So now you're open. Now it's like, okay, how do I counter this dino as well as counter the other guys, as well as like, how do I make myself uninteractable to the enemy whilst interacting with all of the enemies? There really isn't a character like that unless I play, I don't know, Elsa, Bloodstone, Phoenix, or like just like the like dumb broken characters essentially, right? Or like, how do I sustain my dinosaur? We're gonna go triple support Ultron or something. I don't know, triple support Mantis. Like it's just like this insane like loop of like you can enable your dinosaur, you can disable the other dinosaur. It's just a matter of like what you're going to be dealing with and how you're going to kind of go about it, right? So I feel like that's kind of like it when it comes to like why pro players hate the idea of dinosaur, because he is a very simple character. He's very kind of one dimensional. Is he a fun one dimensional? Yeah, he's a fun one dimensional. But at the end of the day, because the character, it's like if Scarlet Witch were the best DPS in the game, right? It's like there really isn't that much for outplay potential, right? A lot of people playing this game love outplay potential, right? Just outplaying your enemy, right? With the Devil Dinosaur, I mean, who can grab better? Who is enabled to grab better? That's not really a fun matchup for everyone else in the lobby, right? Like, is playing the Devil Dinosaur fun? Yes. Is playing against the Devil Dinosaur fun? Well, that again, that is subjective, right? It's like if I were to ask somebody, like, do you like playing Spider Man? Do you like fighting Spider Man? you know, mm, you know, hmm. Do you like playing Black Panther? Do you hate fighting against Black Panther? Right? Well, Black Panther's a weird one because I mean, I don't know. Black Panther's in a weird spot. He's a really feast or famine character. Anyways, whatever. More on the comments below, guys. If you guys want to discuss more about this, yeah, that's gonna be it for the video, guys. And I will be seeing you guys whenever. If you guys want to catch me on Twitch, Twitch will be in the description below. But yeah, peace.